participants are going on. So I'll share one presentation till that time. So I'll give you a brief idea about today's session and how we are arranging various seminars. So I'll give you the little bit idea about the INSSAN also. So Indian National Suggestion Schemes Association, which has been established in 1987, and it has 700 plus members across India. So objective of INSSAN is to promote creativity, suggestion schemes, employee engagement, idea generation within in the organizations, and generate enthusiasm basically. And since over the last 32 years, now we have 5 chapters across India. So that is WIC, that is Western India chapter, Aurangabad chapter, North India chapter, Eastern India chapter, and South India chapter. So 700 members, and every year we conduct a national level convention where various organizations participate, showcase their best ideas, creative ideas. They participate in the competitions, and they win the prizes in the national convention. So what we have, what we brings to the organization, we are committed to employee engagement. This is a various wonderful platform for operational excellence. We boost employee motivation. We help organizations to build iconic culture, and again, there is another one more factor is that considering COVID-19, now everyone leaning towards digitization, automation, and that's where INSSAN helps member organizations to digitize and bring the best practices in the industry. And also, what is the newest thing in the technology? That's also we are trying to bring it here. So we arrange various training programs for the member organizations. There are various forums where we exchange best practices. So in the last COVID-19, you know that it was a very big period for an industry. It was in a challenging time. And in that time, we conducted various webinars, which helps organizations to understand the challenges, how to mitigate, and how to face them. So this is one of the today's program is about secrets of the leadership. So, so there are member organizations, including Tata Motors, HL. So there are a lot of, so I will not name it here. And yes, definitely, now in the today's world, digitalization is key to survive and thrive, and that's the reason what myeNovation is coming into the picture. So I'll give a little bit about myeNovation. myeNovation is a digital platform, artificial intelligence and cloud-based solution platform for the industry. And so there are various modules included in that. So one of them is suggestion and Kaizen box. So you have mobile apps. So I2I, that is idea to implementation, will be having everything digitized. You'll get analytics. It's a mobile app and portal. And so that's all about the INSSAN and myeNovation. So with this, I would like to hand over my baton to the Mr. V.K. Srivastava to take charge of it, and please start the session.
Also, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have seen wonderful videos what you have shown, and especially in North India. The only thing, few more glimpses we wanted to add in future. That's good. So it's our big pleasure that INSSAN North India chapter is organizing this first webinar. So on behalf of INSSAN North India chapter, I would like to welcome our chairman, Mr. Yogesh Punjal, who is supporting for last 25 years North India chapter. And under him only, North India chapter is flourishing. Still, I remember when we started under his leadership, that time we could only have the meet, meet of, INSSAN meet, North India chapter. That time, 35 persons used to join. And today, the shape is not 35, I think it is 500 plus. And event-wise, also we could organize world-class events under his leadership, because he has always focused on how to empower the team, how to empower the ideas of the people. That is very, very important. And last year, we have done one program of CO Meet that was exceptionally good, with the support of Mr. U.S. Bapat, our INSSAN president. I think Bapat Sahab and me, they witnessed, and seniors from Tata Motors, from Jamshedpur, from Pune, even from your Pantnagar and Maruti and IFCO, GMR, all the directors, they were there. So it was a really big pride for INSSAN NIC under the leadership of Yogesh Punjalji. So this is one where I'm just welcoming Yogesh Punjalji, and I am welcoming our INSSAN president, Mr. U.S. Babat, because he has also started doing support in a manner that each chapter should come up. I think under his leadership, there are 2 more new chapters have come, and 1 chapter again got live. And he also having some very, very, vibrant thought that how INSSAN can flourish. So we decided to have this, when we decided about this webinar, that time Munjal Sahab, okay, you go ahead. Even President INSSAN, he was also very keen. Why don't Srivastava, you're not doing it? So we have taken the consent of the corporates. So their corporate, because after this Corona, industries were sick, totally sick. And immediately after that, today if you see Maruti and Hero and Munjal Soa or any other company, they are tight, hand to mouth. They are running 24 hours. And I'm surprised, I would like to share with all the audience during the welcome that we also pride of that India having that industries, those who are having the leadership in the market today, world-class leadership. 7,50,000 per month they have planned in Hero Group, and in Maruti Group also they have planned a good number of vehicles, and it's a big pride. So I welcome all those ideas, those who are present here at the participant here. In that case, now I will welcome our chairman to share his views of the today's webinar and what future we have to do. So I will request our chairman, Mr. Yogesh Punjal.
Mr. Bapat, Mr. Gagan, other colleagues in the panel and participants. I also welcome all of you to this seminar. I hope this will be useful. Today, time has changed. We are passing through a very difficult and uncertain period. Corona has changed us all. Everybody is affected, and we are learning to live with Corona. Now, everything, right from design stage, any new organization, while they are designing the building, they have to take care of this. They have to provide many things which Corona is required. Similarly, layout of our organization, layout of machinery, everything would be affected. Today, everything is now smart, smartphone, smart TV, smart cities. Similarly, we need smart organizations also. That Mr. Gagan will later tell how we can make it smart. But everything has changed. Whatever we were studying in management courses, management books, everything will change. They have to add many, many more things which in future would be required. We once called a person to speak in our Rotary Club, and we gave him a subject, life after Corona. He started and he said, no, I won't speak on life after Corona. I will speak on life with Corona. Because life after Corona, we don't know when it will occur, when it will start. So we have to learn to live with Corona. So all these things we have to change. Now, demand is less in the market. Competition is more. We need more ideas to control cost. We need more ideas to improve our quality, reaction, rework. Everything is required. So therefore, this INSSAN now is more required in all organizations. We have to use our creativity for improving everything. So I hope Mr. Gagan, he has got very good background. He has studied in best colleges. He has worked in best organization, Japanese organization, and he had got good experience also. He would be able to tell us about we can make this leadership, secrets of leadership and smart organizations. So with this, I once again welcome all of you. Thank you all and thank head office for collaborating with us for organizing this program. I wish you all the success. Thank you and take care.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to request our INSSAN President, Mr. Ms. Bapa sir. Bapa sir, please.
Thank you.
Let's all give the big hand, our INSSAN President.
Thank you very much, Srivattam. First of all, let me welcome all the participants, particularly Mr. Gagan Singh and our colleague, Mr. Yogesh Munjalji, Srivastav, and all the INSSAN, plus all the members today who are participating in this. Actually, I am happy on many counts. Not only that NIC has taken, but I had an opportunity to listen to Mr. Gagan Singh in January when we were there for CEO meet. And at that time also, I had asked him that you should be, more larger audience should be able to hear you, and you should help INSSAN in here. And without even taking a second, he said anytime you want, and I think he has stood by his promise. And today, we are very lucky to have him. I'd just like to brief the members that during this particular last 4 months, if it was a challenge to organization and to individual, it was equal challenge for INSSAN how to keep our members and doing some activity. Webinars came and we had almost more than 20, 25 webinars on various subjects. We had a technical paper contest. Because I believe that this is one challenge which we don't have a precedence. Nobody in the world today has a ready-made sort of, experiment that has been done to overcome this. So we are all in the learning stage of trying to get over this. I believe that every challenge also offers opportunity. Because if you look at the mankind, every challenge, mankind has tried to come over by taking that as an opportunity and developing themselves. So I'm sure that today we will get an opportunity to hear from Mr. Gagan what way this challenge can also be handled, as well as what opportunity it is posing. And come whatever the challenge is, I firmly believe that it is only the human beings, and that is the employees when they are in the corporate or otherwise, who needs to remain engaged in a really depressing environment otherwise. So the reason that we are trying to push INSSAN getting all this is the time where we need to engage with the employees, because the leadership is under stress, the employees are under stress, everybody is under stress without knowing which way we should be going. So I take that we'll all be learning from today with experience of Mr. Gagan Singh, whom we have heard, and everybody I can promise that those who are listening will realize that the time has been well spent by logging into today's program. With this, I wish all the best for our participants. Thank you, NIC, once again, and Mr. Gagan for really appreciating or really coming to our program. Thank you, Mr. Gagan, once again, on behalf of INSSAN.
Thank you very much, Baba sir. Baba Sahab, you might be thinking that VK Srivastava is not able to welcome the participant across the country, because I am just counting that count is gone up to 900. And am I right? So I'm just thinking how to welcome. Should I go ahead the welcome right now?
Yes, please go ahead. We should start because people come in and go. That's okay.
It's a big pride for INSSAN North India chapter that we welcome all the diamonds. All the diamonds. We say, sir, suggested is a diamonds of the all the corporates. So VK Srivastava, as the General Secretary of INSSAN, welcome you all here, and we hope that you all are going to enjoy with Mr. Gagan Deep Singh, because already you heard partially. That time I know he was angry with me because I was putting my time bounding. But today, sir, you are going to free. So I just give me 5 minutes more. I'd like to share one more thing, that how the INSSAN North India chapter corporates have done well in their segment. Number one, that Maruti always has on the top. They have attained the total profit. Apart from total profit, they have the profit from suggestion scheme, that is 250 crores. I think we all should give a big hand to Maruti and his management. There is one success. And I'm thankful to Mr. Pradeep Kumar Roy, who is the director, next director, because earlier he was in other segment. So today he is the director, and Mr. P.V. Ravi, who is the senior vice president. So we are thankful to him that they are always supporting North India chapter INSSAN. Then second is, sir, we are getting a lot of support from Hero. Hero also, though they have, I couldn't receive the figure, but their association scheme is running so well and participation is very high. Apart from that, you might have heard about this IFCO corporate. IFCO, they have 5 plants. So that is in fertilizer group. Even I will say there's a plant, their company was in production. And from 5 crores in the beginning of the last, I will say in 2014, they are having only 5 crores profit from the suggestion scheme. And that too, INSSAN and IC supporting every year to all the plants. We do the program. Baba Sahab, we do always one program in each plant. Kandla or your Paradip, all the plant. And this year, they have achieved the profit only from Sujao Yojana, because they always talk in Hindi, and that is 80 crores. I think we must give the big hand to them also, because it is the plant is 24 hours running. They cannot stop the plant. They cannot stop the machine. So I am thankful to those diamonds. Even I am thankful to Mr. MD, Mr. US Awasthiji, and Mr. RP Singh, director of this group. They are supporting very strongly, and INSSAN side, as per the instruction of Yogesh Punjalji, we are also doing full support to them. Next is Tata Motors Group. Tata Motors Group, Baba Sahab, if we remove the Tata Group, then INSSAN is 50%. So all the diamonds which are coming from Pantnagar plant, from Lucknow plant, from Jamshedpur, from Pune, or from Sanand. So I'm thankful to Mr. Neeraj Agarwal of Sanand plant, Mr. Anal Vijay Singh of Pantnagar plant, and Mr. Chaudhary of Lucknow plant. Really, sir, we are thankful to you, and your all diamonds, they do a wonderful job with the help of INSSAN. Apart from that, TVS is also one group, sir, that is also doing very well, though they are in South. Baba Sahab, the thought which is generated by Yogesh Punjalji in the beginning, don't confine to North India. India means if the people are coming from each corner of India. So you can see the person from South, person from East, West, all are participating in North India. And today you are also supporting us. So I didn't got the actual figure from TVS, but that group is also doing so well, very well. Then Mahindra and Mahindra group, this is very coming up in Rudrapur and your Haridwar plant. They are doing so well, and in the session scheme also, they are doing so many getting so many achievements, which is I'm thinking in future you are going to know about that. Then BL Ghaziabad. BL Ghaziabad 1, this is a defense unit, and they are doing wonderful job, and lot of good sessions we are receiving, and they are also having good saving. Then, as per instruction of our chairman, that why don't you involve the HL? So, sir, I been to HL Kanpur, and from HL Kanpur, you will surprise, sir. They have given me a opportunity to deliver lecture on frozen and INSSAN, and they publish my photo also everywhere. So, what I mean to say, today world is changing, and I think the way now INSSAN is going. And I think we must thanks to all the corporates, that those who are helping us to come up, and certainly we are going to come up in a different manner. And this is the first time I am thankful to Mr. Raj Dubal and Bapat Saab that you have given opportunity. I was discussing with Chairman Saab. He said, we never got that much charging with this program. But today I'm feeling, yes, this is the first incident. Maybe in future we will be doing better. And Bapat Saab, you always knocking me. Srivastava, not one program. North India should do at least 3 programs. So, sir, we will do 5 programs. We will do 5 programs in this commitment. So, we all are thankful to all the diamonds, those who have joined today. So far, now the count is only 103. We have registered, I think we have got registered information that we got that there will be 300 candidates will be joining. So, Dwal Sahab, I need your kind favor and attention in this, because that should increase. Because Gagan Sahab, you will see 104. He may start shouting on me. He also said, what is going on? You promised me for 300 candidates. 300% will be there. So, Gagan Sahab, what do you feel? Should we start?
Yes, sir, absolutely. I always believe in all the webinars that the early bird should catch the worm. So those who have been very diligent and very kind to have joined as per schedule. And then I guess Rajji is coordinating. So as and when more members keep coming, Rajji would keep welcoming them.
Yeah. So that means I should wait for 4 or 5 minutes, or I should give straight away. But I would like to introduce your introduction also to but what we have seen in you in North India chapter. So, dear participant, today's webinar, it gives my great pleasure to introduce our speaker, Mr. Gagan Singh, who is an eminent business consultant, leadership trainer, and motivational speaker in the field of corporate strategy and leadership skill development. And as Yogesh Punjalji already explained about that, he has attained all professional qualifications, that too from IIM Ahmedabad and Delhi College of Engineering, he passed out. And apart from that, then there's so many other qualities he is having. Mr. Gagan has also been associated with academic research and been involved with leading global of Indian universities to conduct leadership training programs for professionals. This is a very, very big thing, and is a prideful thing for INSSAN that today you are with us. Mr. Gagan is celebrated motivational speaker at international and national forum in Japanese, English, Hindi, and Punjabi. Sir, Japanese I also know, sir. Anatano no mae wa nan desu ka? Ohayo gozaimasu.
Subarashi, tonto subarashi.
So it's our great pleasure and privilege to welcome Mr. Gagan. We look forward to sharing his thoughts on smart leadership techniques to pursue growth amidst and recessionary times. So let's we all should give a very big hand to Mr. Gagan. Yes, sir. Now time is yours. Okay. We are yours.
Great. Thank you so much. Just let me share the screen. So Rajji, is the screen visible, sir?
Yes. So it's visible. Yeah. Just put it on. Yeah. Wonderful.
Great. Fair enough. So first of all, my deepest gratitude to Vinayji for such kind words. And at the outset, Honorable Shri Yogesh Punjalji, worthy Chairman, Northern Chapter, Most respected Shri Bapat ji, President of INSSAN, Srivastav ji, Raj ji, Satyaprakash ji, and all respected members in the management committee of INSSAN, and my dear friends who have spared their precious time to hear us today, I extend a very warm welcome, and it's a great privilege to be here. Today, I'm going to talk for the next about 70-75 minutes on why coronavirus, which general perception is that it's a great challenge. On the contrary, is probably one of the greatest opportunities which Lord Almighty has showered on us, and how we all, in two capacities, number one, as individuals, and number two, as organizational leaders, can leverage and take ourselves and our organizations to great heights, not despite Corona, but due to Corona times. So with these words, let me start this webinar, Beat COVID Away, Smart Professional Way. And how can we not start but with the great lines with the legendary American civil rights reformist Martin Luther King, who spoke in 1963, if you can't be a pine at the peak, be a shrub in the valley. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you cannot be a highway, just be a trail. Be a tiny star if you can't be the sun. For it's not with size that battles of life are lost or won. But there's one thing that you must ever believe. No matter what, be the best of whatever you aspire to be. Be the best of whatever you aspire to be. Yes, my friends, as the COVID times start, the mission for all of us would be, no matter how great a position we are in, no matter how giant and behemoth organization we are in, what will matter is, are we constantly trying to become the best? Because the future is, of course, challenging. It generally is always challenging, but resplendent with opportunities. However, only for those who are ready to adapt and transform. And the mission should be to be the best at whatever you aspire to be. But there's a question. So as I start my webinar, I wish to say a question that when we are looking at these times, we are talking about becoming the best and using these times. How really are the present times for us as individuals and as organizations? How are we feeling right now? In a mission to be the best, how are the sentiments? How are our feelings? And there are no prizes for getting that. The times for all of us are definitely challenging. You may say these are struggling times. You may say these are extremely demanding times, and that, Gagan, you are talking about best. Forget about becoming the best. Right now, even survival itself is becoming very difficult. So no prizes for guessing that particular aspect. The question, though, which then begs attention as a $1 million question is, are these struggling times good for you? What are these struggling times doing to you? What do they mean to you? Are these struggles good? Are they going to benefit us? And what will these great challenges do to us once the coronavirus is something that we have conquered, and as respected Yogesh said, learn to live arm into arm, hand by hand, peacefully ever after? To answer this question, what are our struggles doing to us? Let me take you all to a small motivational story, and inspired by the legendary author Charles Dickens, we'll call it A Tale of Two Lions. So let's start with a small motivational story on A Tale of Two Lions. Once upon a time, in a jungle, there lived two lions. One, a successful lion, another one, a struggling lion. Every morning, they would get ready, get dressed up, and one of them would go in one direction and the other will go in another. Every evening when these lions would come back, one of them would come back really successful, all beaming, smiling, having the prey in his hand and saying, oh, I had a busy day. I had a positive day. I was able to catch prey all again, once again today. So he would be like justified to get the title of the smiling, confident, successful lion. On the other hand, there was another lion that poor lion would come back and really look absolutely famished, absolutely vanquished. And he would say, oh, I had a stretch day. I had to stretch a lot. I had to shift a lot, run from here and there. I had to struggle. But yet, most of the days, despite all the struggles, the success would elude him. So obviously, the jungle named one of them successful and the other struggling. And as it is very obvious to presume, the whole jungle started to think that obviously the successful lion will prosper and become the jungle king, whereas the struggling lion, very unfortunately, would perish. But my respected friends, can you guess what happened? Exactly the opposite of this happened, because the successful lion, whom everybody thought would prosper, started weakening, growing more and more feeble until he eventually perished. On the other hand, the struggling lion started becoming stronger, growing, started prospering, and became the jungle king. And now the whole jungle was perplexed. Ye kya ho gaya? What just happened? And the only question on everybody's mouth was, why? How did this happen? And as it's always done with some of the puzzles, a big jungle committee was set up, and the committee went into what were these lions doing during the course of the day? How come one was successful and how come the other was struggling? And what did they find? The committee found that the successful lion was successful because all throughout the day, 9 to 5, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., the successful lion was doing nothing but chasing tiny mices. Now, these mices were easy to catch. Therefore, they were giving him a feeling of being successful. They were keeping him preoccupied. So he was feeling busy. And because of the combination of success and being busy, he was feeling very positive and very successful. But the problem, my respected friends, was this 9 to 5, filing the ledger, going to the office in the corona time, being scared and doing those petty things which you have been doing conventionally, the way conventions were. These mice, in terms of calorific value, my respected friends, were actually taking much more calorie to catch the mice compared to what they were providing the lion. As a result, as the lion kept on his intransigence, his stubbornness to only pursue small goals that he was good at, these mices helped him get a feeling of being very successful, very happy 9 to 5, but eventually led to him being perished. On the other hand, what was the struggling lion doing? The struggling lion, my friends, was chasing big, tough goals in the form of antelope, the fleshiest, the highest calorific value of deer. Now, these tough goals, these antelopes were difficult. They needed 24/7. They needed him to struggle, to stretch to the fullest, develop new competencies, and yet maybe not succeed so easily. But when once a week or once in 2 weeks he would catch the antelope, achieve that big goal, unlike the 9 to 5 thing, he would have tremendous flesh, tremendous calorie to eat for the next month or so. As a result, while he had to stretch every day was a pain, a challenge, but the long-term result was great success because he was chasing big, tougher goals. Now, you may all ask, what's the moral? Why am I telling this story to you? My respected industry leaders, I am telling this story to you because I would like to draw a punchline that being successful alone means absolutely nothing if you're not chasing the big goals. The very reason why corporate leaders can take their organizations to great heights, and as I will take examples of some of the legendary 100-year-old successful companies, what single virtue these companies excelled at, these leaders excelled at, were like the struggling lion. They were always chasing the big goals. So my respected friends, please remember, the bigger the struggle, the greater the success. Success at tiny goals may make you have a feeling, a chimera, a mirage, an illusion that you're very successful, you're very happy, but in the long term, that situation of not stretching yourself is only leading to your decadence. On the other hand, struggling at big goals, going for new expansion, going for new exports, going for new imports, going for new supply chain with your OEM may seem very painful, but those struggles will lead to the long-term prosperity. So as I start this webinar, my respected friends, my important first message to all of you is that the first question that great leaders ask themselves is, what are the mice that you have to stop chasing? And what are the antelope that you have to start chasing? You are a corporate professional. You are, let's say, a manager. You are 40 years old. You are so busy 9 to 5. But is that precise focus, that mice that you're chasing you, leading you to greatness? What is stopping you? What is the antelope? That big MBA degree? Then, my friends, make your children sleep at 10 o'clock. From 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, start preparing for IIM Ahmedabad. Get your MBA degree. You are a general manager. You want to become managing director of your company. You want your journal research to be published. You want your book to be published. That is the big antelope. 9 to 5, you can catch the mice, but when you come back, you have made your children sleep at 10 o'clock, you have attended to the 5, 10 to 3 o'clock, write that book. You want to be a great author, you want to be a great journalist, you want to be a great leader, then my respected friends, find those antelopes that you have to focus on, because I am going to tell you today, as I start this webinar, that the only secret why companies and leaders became great was that they were always clear that what are the antelopes to change. So please remember, right at the beginning, the first S of smart leadership for individuals is shift to chase big goals. Go for that MBA, go for that book, go for that master's in sciences, go for that added qualification which will help you promote and go beyond the tiny mice, because 9 to 5 may be the safest, most secure thing in these high-risk COVID times. But as respected Yogesh said, leader is not one who's planning what after COVID, but leader is the one who is planning how to live with COVID and rule in the period at COVID. So the first S, which I'm going to talk at the end of the webinar, and I'm introducing right here at the beginning, is always shift to big goals and stretch yourself to the limit. Those difficult antelopes which you have not been chasing. Now, you may ask, कि भाई गगन जी, ये तो हाथी, घोड़े, भालू, शेर, चीते की बात हो गई, ये तो जंगल की कहानी हो गई. Is it relevant to human beings also? And for that, let me tell you that by telling you 2 small stories. Now, had it been a real corporate workshop, I would have given you a piece of paper and a pencil and asked you to write answer to these 4 questions. But this being a webinar, I give you 20 seconds. And I want you to choose 4 of the greatest ever. The greatest ever Bollywood Indian actor. Not an actress, an actor in this context. Number 2, the greatest ever global entrepreneur visionary. One of the greatest ever Indian cricketers. And the 4th one may be tricky because it goes back way to the 19th century. We are talking about 1815, 1860s. One of the greatest ever political statesman of the world. So guys, I give you about 20 seconds. Think through the answer. Take a pen, take a paper, write it down. You have 10 more seconds, and then we'll start how this ghoda, cheetah, bhalu ki jungle ki kahani, human beings pay, it is also applicable. Okay, now different people may have different answers, but in my thoughts, and this is just a humble feeling, we may say one of the greatest ever Bollywood actor, Amit ji. We may say one of the greatest ever global business visionary, Steve Jobs. And of course, we may have MS Dhoni Club, we may have Virat Kohli Club, we may have Kapil Dev Club, but for the purpose of this presentation, please give me your permission to mention Sachin Tendulkar. And for statesmen, I go back to that one leader I respect from the core of my heart, 16th American president, the great Abraham Lincoln. Now, you may ask, बात तुम struggling line की कर रहे हैं, इन सब के बीच में अगर हम बोले, what is one thing common? I mean, Amit ji, Steve Jobs, Sachin, Lincoln, well, they were greatest. अरे गगन जी, आप बात कर रहे हो स्ट्रगलिंग लाइन की, आप बात कर रहे हो स्ट्रगल की, और बात कर रहे हो ऐसे लोगों की जिनकी तो खुशियां ही खुशियां हो तेरे दामन में. What are we talking about over here? But that brings to my second question. You think their life was a bed of roses? I'm going to ask you one more question. What is one more common thing between those 4 randomly chosen people? And the answer may startle you, my respected friends, but that one common thing was VUCA. And VUCA, I'll explain in a while, is nothing but in practical terms, we can say unexpected, sudden, extreme challenges. Amit ji, Jobs, Sachin, Lincoln, their life were to be defined by one word. It was nothing but sudden, extreme challenges. VUCA, for all of you who may want to know, I did several leadership programs with Harvard in the United States. I used to train global corporates. I worked for Singapore government and for Harvard and did leadership programs. The term VUCA in academic term is an acronym for 4 words. V for volatility, which means the single concept of physics जो हमने 9वीं कक्षा में पढ़ा था in the 9th class. The entropy of universe always unidirectionally is increasing. The extremity of changes, जैसे ECG का ग्राफ होता है, extremity of changes are always amplifying. Number 2, uncertainty. How and what will change becomes difficult to predict. Number 3, complexity. The combination of problems. आज कोरोना वायरस है, कल हंसा वायरस होगा, next day Korean war, next day Chinese war, Russian war. As respected Yogesh ji said, it is not about imagining or fantasizing what our life will be once the problems are gone. It's all about learning to live with ambiguity, which is the 4th A of VUCA, which is nothing but a general difficulty to predict what is going to happen next. So great leaders, great organizations are the ones who embrace VUCA to emerge very successful like a struggling lion. Let me take 2 specific examples. Let me take Amit ji's life. Once again, in a real session, I would have asked you to fill this up, but in a webinar, you may say, अमित जी की जीवन यात्रा का व्याख्यान करने के लिए अगर मैं आपसे एक शब्द कहूं तो आप कहेंगे सफलता, खुशियां ही खुशियां, लेकिन अफसोस मेरे दोस्तों आप 6,40,000 जीत रहे थे, ये गलत जवाब है कंप्यूटर जी। अगर दूसरे ऑप्शन दो फोन फ्रेंड की, यू मे से जॉयज एंड हैप्पीनेसेस, लेकिन अफसोस दोस्तों ये भी गलत जवाब। रेनबोज एंड सनशाइन्स, दिस इज आल्सो इनकरेक्ट बिकॉज मेरे प्यारे मित्रों, अमित जी की जीवन यात्रा का व्याख्यान करने के लिए सफलता एक उचित शब्द नहीं है, क्योंकि 1 नहीं 2 नहीं अनगिनत बार अमित जी को अपने जीवन में घोर अपमान और भारी पराजय का सामना करना पड़ा। The only thing that was constant in life was struggles, failures and more rejections, far more devastating than today's COVID. But let's see what was his response. उन्होंने क्या किया? Was he a successful lion? 9 to 5 चूहे पकड़ रहे थे या 24/7 एंटीलोप? अमित जी ने अपने जीवन के करियर की शुरुआत रेडियो से करी। There he was unceremoniously rejected. He did not give up. He started chasing a bigger goal. He went to Bollywood. But regrettably, पहले 2-3 साल 7 हिंदुस्तानी इन पिक्चरों में भी उनको बहुत असफलता प्राप्त हुई। He did not give up. Giving up the old image of Dev Anand, Rajesh Khanna's lover boy image, he elevated to an angry young man. और जब ऐसा लग रहा था कि अब तो जीवन में खुशियां खुशियां, कोई कोरोना वायरस रूपी जहर उनके जीवन को बर्बाद नहीं कर सकता, कुली मूवी का वो फैटल एक्सीडेंट जो उनको लिटरली मृत्यु के कागार पर लाकर खड़ा कर दिया, देन उन्होंने वहां भी हार नहीं मारी। He grew even bigger. He stretched, he shifted, he decided to be a politician. He became a member of parliament from Uttar Pradesh, Allahabad, and regrettably, under controversial circumstances, he had to quit that too. Where any ordinary person would have said, enough of corona-related pressures, I have to give up. What did this legend do, my friends? He further stretched. He opened his company, ABCL, as some of my batchmates from 97 batch, IIM Ahmedabad know. He became quite successful until that late 90s fiasco of Bangalore Miss World, Miss Universe competition, where his company became bankrupt. तकदीर फरेब तो सभी के साथ करती है दोस्तों। तकदीर, किस्मत छल तो सभी के साथ करती है, लेकिन सही रूप में मुकद्दर का सिकंदर वो है जो इन छल और फरेबों के बावजूद भी आगे बढ़ के चले। तो अमित जी ने क्या किया दोस्तों? ही शिफ्टेड टू एवर बिगर गोल्स। आफ्टर हिज ह्यूमिलिएशन एट ABCL, he was literally at the verge of being arrested. What did he do? He went with folded hands, with great humility, with great love affection, to Yash Chopra to get mohabbatein, to Pete Mukherjee to get Kaun Banega Crorepati, and he did his stretching and shifting. What did he shift? What did he stretch? He shifted from the big screen to small screen, a hitherto unimaginable move. He shifted from the hero's role to a character artist role. He pursued the greatest virtue of leaders, which is constant self-transformation, like a struggling lion. Because the rat that you are catching, today it may be a rat, but tomorrow it's gone. The antelope that you are chasing, today may be an antelope, but tomorrow it's gone. Winners, my respected friends, are defined by those who constantly change bigger goals, find new antelope to change. That's the big lesson from Amit ji. And about the second story, Steve Jobs. Contrary to the popular notion, it's a relatively lesser known fact that, if I may be permitted to use this sensitive word, Steve was an illegitimate child. तो जन्मोपरांत माता पिता ने त्याग कर दिया, जिन्होंने पाला पोसा अपनाया बड़ा किया, उन्होंने एक महान कॉलेज में भर्ती करवाया, लेकिन वहां भी रुचि ना होने कारण स्टीव जॉब को उस कॉलेज को भी छोड़ना पड़ा। फिर खून पसीने से उन्होंने अपनी कंपनी बनाई एप्पल। 1976 से लेकर 1984, 8 साल, 76 to 84, a great legend. And like the Coolie movie, it seemed that now nothing can go with Steve Jobs' life, but then अपने खून पसीने से बनाई हुई कंपनी से एक भयंकर षड्यंत्र हेतु उनको निकाल बाहर किया गया, unceremoniously shunted out from his own company in 84, so much so that an arrest warrant was issued that you should not be even seen within a peripheral distance of Apple offices. But he never gave up. He went on to education, he went on to Pixar, he went on to those Disney movies and all that. And then when he came back in 97 as ICO, that now life was going to be bed and viruses, there would be no coronavirus. किस्मत ने वही खेल उनके साथ खेला दोस्तों, उनकी पीठ में चांद रूपी कैंसर का चिराग घोंप दिया, और जहां पे कोई भी साधारण व्यक्ति घुटने चौंक लेता, इन्होंने क्या कहा? इन्होंने कहा दोस्तों, मृत्यु चाहे इस जगत से मुझे छीन ले, मेरे को छीन ले, लेकिन मेरा नाम मेरा काम मुझे सदैव अमर कर देगा। ये मृत्यु क्या चीज है? मेरा काम मेरा नाम मेरे को इस दुनिया में अमर कर देगा। एंड माय फ्रेंड्स, in the era of 2004 to 2011, just before his death, roughly about 8 years, every single great innovation that is credited to Steve Jobs, your iPhone, progressively successful versions of iPhone, music revolution in iPod, touch industry revolution in iPad, data storage in iCloud, all of those legendary innovations, iPod, iPhone, iPad, iCloud, were done by this legend while he was struggling with cancer every single day. He would work non-stop and he would come back and with writhe in pain as he was fighting with cancer, but he was a struggling lion who never gave up. Similarly, my friends, Sachin, to talk very quickly about Sachin and Lincoln, they also had their shares of challenges. Sachin, in the second of his career, had so many health issues. He had more than 20, 25 surgeries. But the greatness of this man was, within like few days of his surgery, he would be back on the field. यहाँ हम लोगों की दांत निकालने की रूट कैनाल हो जाए, तो दफ्तर में एक सविनय निवेदन चला जाता है कि महोदय, सविनय निवेदन ये है कि मुझे यहाँ पे ज्वर आ रहा है और मुझे 2 दिन के लिए आप लीव की आज्ञा दीजिए, अनुमति दीजिए. Sachin would be back on the nets within like less than a week. That's how he continued to struggle, develop new techniques to face McGrath, develop new techniques to face Shane Warne, continuously evolving, not resting on the laurels, not resorting to catching the mice. Same with Lincoln. आज अगर अमेरिका को दुनिया का एक महान राष्ट्र बनाने का नींव का पत्थर किसी एक व्यक्ति पे कहा जाए मेरे प्यारे मित्रों, तो वो अब्राहम लिंकन थे, ये कहना अनुचित नहीं होगा. The 3 great things that Lincoln did was, इन्होंने अमेरिका में उत्तरी और दक्षिणी प्रांत में जो विभाजन चल रहा था उसको समाप्त करवाया. अमेरिका में आपस में बहुत जबरदस्त भेदभाव थे, राष्ट्र को दो पार्ट में बांटने के बंटवारे की बात हो रही थी, राष्ट्र को एकजुट करवाया, बंटवारे की कूटनीति को समाप्त किया। और सबसे महान इनकी उपलब्धि थी कि नस्लीय भेदभाव की घृणित प्रथा को इन्होंने समाप्त किया। एंड लिंकन के लिए दोस्तों, मुझे राजेश खन्ना की आनंद पिक्चर का एक बड़ा लेजेंडरी डायलॉग याद आता है, बिकॉज ये सब करवाने का उनको फल क्या मिला कि 55 वर्ष की एक अपेक्षाकृत छोटी आयु में उनकी बड़े ही निर्मम तरीके से हत्या कर दी गई। तो राजेश खन्ना ने जैसे आनंद में कहा था, मुझे इजाजत दीजिए, बाबूमशाय, जिंदगी हमारी बड़ी होनी चाहिए, लंबी चाहे हो ना हो। तो लिंकन ने 55 वर्ष की अपेक्षाकृत छोटी आयु में वो कार्य कर दिखाया जो हम कई लोग 80, 90, 100 में भी ना कर पाए। आज मेरे प्यारे मित्रों, मैं इन 4 महानायकों की बात आपके आगे क्यों कर रहा हूं? What's the big learning over here? The big learning is, my friends, we are today afraid of coronavirus. We are afraid to step out. We are resorting to chasing the mices instead of thinking like big goals. My respected friends, in hindsight, what seems like a bed of roses, whether it's Amit, Jobs, Abraham, or Sachin, when they were living, it was nothing but a crown of thorns. एक कोरोना वायरस, 2 कोरोना वायरस, तो क्या ऐसे 10,000 कोरोना वायरस से भी घनघोर समस्याओं का इन महानायकों ने जीवन में हर घड़ी सामना किया। बट इनकी सबसे महान उपलब्धि दोस्तों, इनकी सफलता नहीं थी, इनकी चेष्टा थी, अपने लक्ष्य के ओर बढ़ने का इनका दृढ़ निश्चय था। They were struggling lines and they became successful, my friends, not despite the challenges, not despite coronavirus, because of what they did during coronavirus. Now you may ask that from those 4 human beings, what message am I trying to draw for all of you? The message, my respected friends, is success is not a destination but a journey. सफलता एक मंजिल नहीं, एक मार्ग है दोस्तों। और असफलता की परिभाषा की एक गलतफहमी जिसको मैं आज मिटाना चाहूंगा वो ये है कि असफल वह व्यक्ति नहीं जो लाख कोशिशों के बावजूद अपनी मंजिल को नहीं हासिल कर रहा, बट असफल वह जिसके पास पाने के लिए मंजिलें, चलने के लिए राहें ही नहीं है। तो मेरे प्यारे मित्रों, जब तक संघर्ष करते हुए स्ट्रगलिंग लाइन की तरह रोज पीड़ा से अमित जी, जॉब, सचिन, लिंकन की तरह जूझते हुए आप अपनी मंजिलों और अपनी दिशाओं की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं, अग्रसर हैं, आप असफल नहीं सफल हैं, ये मानकर चलिए। बिकॉज माय फ्रेंड, सो लॉन्ग एज यू आर स्ट्रगलिंग, प्लीज रिमेंबर, you are on the right path and you shall become truly great lives. Now I'm going to show you a slide, 3 challenges of post-COVID future. You may ask, Gagan ji, ये तो कोई भी बता सकता है, इसमें क्या रॉकेट साइंस है? अब अगर मैं आपसे कहूं मेरे प्यारे मित्रों, ये स्लाइड 2020 में नहीं, ये स्लाइड लिटरली 2015-16 में हार्वर्ड में हम मित्सुबिशी में कुछ लीडरशिप प्रोग्राम्स करते थे, उन प्रोग्राम्स की लिटरली 5 साल पुरानी स्लाइड है। As I said at the very beginning, and now I'm going to come to the corporate leadership part, that coronavirus, Hansa virus, Korean war, Chinese war, Russian war, a more fatal casualty, they will all be around us. It was predicted almost, I would say, a decade back that the world will be hounded by 3 serious challenges: technology disruption, automation, workerless factories, professorless colleges, doctorless hospitals, literally a situation of removing human being from job like it is already happening in Japan. I spent a big part of my life in Tokyo when I was a member of the board at Mitsubishi Group. Automation everywhere, service center, automotive component companies. Worker ratio is something like 1:10 compared to Indian automotive component statistics. Obviously, my respected friends, what Corona has done is nothing else but just what was anticipated to happen in 2030. It has brought it now. So my respected friends, as I gave the beseechment to the great quotation of Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King, my message is, we all must aspire to be the best, because that's the secret to prosper. Otherwise, we may perish. Therefore, the only secret to success is to embrace technology, embrace automation, and जिस प्रकार हमारे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र भाई मोदी जी ने नारा छोड़ा है, आत्मनिर्भर भारत। लेटर ऑन मैं बजाज ऑटो के राजीव बजाज जी की फेसबुक की एक यूट्यूब पोस्ट की बात करूंगा, एंड आई विल टेल यू that why coronavirus, which is being considered as a great threat, is probably the greatest ever blessing. How does it affect the professional world? In every profession, my respected friends, there are juniors, strugglers, there are middle, there are seniors, and there are top. What coronavirus or any other virus or any other recession will do is a huge portion of jobs, opportunities will go away, and there'll be a rocket which will be flying, a leaner, meaner, more powerful organization, and a quadrilateral which will fall. In today's webinar, I will give you 5 smart leadership secrets, a smart leader who can fly with the rocket and not fall with the quadrilateral. That's what in the second half of the webinar, starting now, we are going to pursue. But as Srivastav ji promised you, we are going to have some fun games. So अमित जी की बात हो रही है, तो कौन बनेगा करोड़पति के फ्लेवर में हम लोग एक छोटा सा क्विज खेलेंगे. I want all of you to save my mobile number 935-422-6620. 935-422-6620. And we will play fastest focused fingers first. हम क्या करने जा रहे हैं? मैं आपको एक छोटा सा वीडियो दिखाऊंगा, just about 40 seconds. You have to excel and prove me by your correct calculation of the number that you are all focused leaders. So, Srivastav ji, Raj ji, just for the benefit of all members, I would want you to repeat this, the rules of the game. Srivastav ji, can you unmute and read this slide, please?
Fastest correct answer wins. Fastest, focused, and correct. Instructions are: write your name on plain paper, take a screenshot, and your WhatsApp number is there, 935-422-422 and 6620. Okay,
so to everybody, thank you, Srivastav ji. I am giving a small time of 20 seconds. Save this, 935-422-6620. And the quiz that you have to do is this. Rajji, may I request you, sir, to read this question of the quiz to everybody?
Yeah, so the question is, how many times players of the team in white pass the basketball among each other? Each throw is considered as one.
Yeah, thank you. Now, this game, when it was designed in the United States, it has been tested on more than 1 million leaders. I myself, across leadership programs, have tested it with on lakhs. In my experience, not even 0.1% succeed in this fastest focused fingers first. We have about 120. I would like to challenge and see how many of you can focus, how many of you can concentrate, and how many of you cannot focus and cannot concentrate. It's a very simple exercise. I am going to be repeating the number because it's fastest first. आप बहुत अच्छा खेल रहे थे, लेकिन अगर आप first नहीं आए, तो no point. So you have to be fastest and you have to be first. So I'm giving you 10 seconds to save the mobile. 935-422-6620. So the challenge is, as Rajji read, how many times player of the team in white pass the basketball among each other? Each throw is considered as one. So guys, the $1 million question is, are you ready? So Rajji, can I start? May I assume is everybody ready?
Yeah, I think everybody, I'm also ready.
Okay, yeah. God bless you. Let's have a challenge, how focused and how good at mathematics we are. So I repeat the instructions जो राज जी ने पढ़ी थी. Simple है. Actually counting की exercise है. सिर्फ ध्यान पे है. How much can you focus? Instructions are count how many times the players wearing white. कुछ लोग दिखाई देंगे white कपड़े, white shirt सिर्फ कुछ ने पहनी हुई है. आधों ने black पहनी हुई है. You have to count the correct mathematical number. How many times the players wearing the white pass the basketball? मैं screen start करने वाला हूँ. 10 सेकंड का preparation time है, उसके बाद screen आएगी. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start.
many passes did you count?
Okay, अमित जी से 1 करोड़ रुपए जीतने के लिए आपका समय शुरू होता है अब. Please shoot the answer. I am right now here waiting. Oh, Jesus Christ. Guys, you have to tell me your name because there are a gentleman with 107, 68107. Sir, you have come first. Please type your name. Rohit Ahirao. Rohit Ahirao. A number ending with 277. I'm sorry, 2 and then 40. Please type your name. 7777. SK Sharma. Wonderful. Arvind Dhingra ji. Excellent. Full marks, sir. Raj ji, thoda sa गलत नंबर आ गया सर.
Okay.
अंकित जी नो. लेट मी सी हु हैज गॉट द. रोहित वार्ष्णेय जी थोड़ा सा गलत है. There is a number 5779. You are also 100% right. 5779. Please write your name, sir. Please type your name quickly. You are 100% correct. You get full marks. Five 5779. Please write your name. Okay, Vikas Deep ji. Very good. So guys, in view of paucity of time, I'm going to stop here. And there are many who gave correct answers. So Alpesh Kamboli ji, आपका आंसर एक थोड़े हायर साइड पे है but interesting. So okay, Raj ji, अब क्विज का पार्ट बी करते हैं. The correct answer, my friends, is 15. But in this Harvard research, they consider any answer between 14 to 16 as correct. Because the last throw and the one last throw is tricky. Now, guys, the real focus test starts now. I am ready with my WhatsApp. By the way, did you notice something special? Shoot your WhatsApp now. You have only 10 seconds for this. इसमें जिसने first बोल दिया, he is the winner according to the Harvard research. You have to type your answers. Please don't speak your answers. If you didn't notice anything special, please honestly type right no. If you notice something, type what? Your 10 seconds. I do this exercise with BHEL. आज तक मेरी हिस्ट्री में गिरोत्रा जी हैं BHEL हैदराबाद के. He could succeed at both the test. The secret of Harvard research is some who get the number right don't get the other thing right. So guys, I am not getting enough. Oh, wow. The number with 56996, please write your name. 56996. Please type your name, sir. And 56996, Gajpal ji, why did you not write the number? But okay, we'll come to that later, Gajpal ji. Congratulations. Very good job, sir. Let us now go back. So with the permission of Srivastav ji and Raj ji, हम वापस जाते हैं. चलिए, वापस. Are you ready? Same चीज को दोबारा देखते हैं. अब आप लोग फोकस के साथ साथ विजुअलाइज भी करेंगे. So 3, 2, 1, start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. अरे ये क्या हो गया? ये कौन आ रहा है भाई? बचाओ. ये कौन आ गए? ये क्या हो रहा है भैया? ये क्या हो रहा है? ये कौन आ गए? नमस्कार भाई साहब, सत प्रणाम. ये भाई साहब कहां से आ गए? Now guys, I want you to be very honest, because this is not a corporate thing. You are not being evaluated. Those of you did not see the gorilla, please have my sincere request to kindly type back to me no. I give you about 20 seconds to do that. Why this gorilla game? What is the reason? Why are we talking about gorilla at this stage, my respected friends? The reason for this Harvard design game is just one single thing, that when faced with VUCA, when faced with volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity like Amit Ji, Jobs, Sachin, Lincoln, most great leaders resort to the concept of tunnel vision. They are lost in challenges, and in our panic, we resort to chasing the mice. Go back to 9 to 5 job, doing the basics right. Dar, fear, as they say. The greater thing than corona is corona se bada corona ka dar. आज कोरोना की अगर फैटेलिटी रेट 1% है, 1.5% है, रिकवरी रेट 98.5% है, you see most of the researchers, what do they talk? कोरोना से बड़ा कोरोना का डर. And my respected friends, just like this gorilla game proves, जो फोकस करके मैथमेटिकल नंबर बनाता है उसको गोरिल्ला नहीं नजर आता. और गजपाल जी की तरह, गजपाल जी ने मुझे नंबर नहीं दिया तो आई डोंट नो उनका नंबर क्या था, अब हम नहीं बता पाएंगे बिकॉज द गेम इज ओवर, सो नो एंट्रीज आर एक्सेप्टेड. जिनको गोरिल्ला नजर आता है उन्होंने कभी फोकस ही नहीं किया. So the combination of having the focus to count and having the macro vision is something, my respected friends, you all need to know. What we consider as the corona of threats, respected friends, has a big gorilla of opportunity passing. यहाँ मैं राजीव बजाज जी की, आदरणीय राजीव बजाज जी की बजाज ऑटो का रेफर करना चाहूंगा. उनका अगर आप YouTube देखें, उनके YouTube से क्या सेंटिमेंट आ रहे हैं? डर, कंफ्यूजन, केओस, कंप्लीशन. चाइना से सप्लाई बंद होगी तो बजाज की नेक्स्ट स्ट्रेटेजी क्या होगी? इंडियन सप्लायर्स को ग्रूम करना है. आज अगर कुछ ग्रुप पहले खाली हीरो को दे रहे थे, व्हाई नॉट गो हैव अ रिलेशनशिप विद राजीव बजाज एंड से आई मेक फ्रंट फोक्स फॉर हीरो, नाउ आई विल मेक फ्रंट फोक्स फॉर बजाज. आई यूज्ड टू डू दैट बिफोर एंड्योरेंस केम वे बैक इन 1999. After coronavirus, maybe export market, maybe Europe will realize who is the wicked nation without giving any names over there. Then would there be an opportunity? Showa is there in Spain. Spain is a big market for front forks. Spain is a big market. Europe is a big market for so many auto components. China, even today, when I was working at Mitsubishi and Nippon Group as director and member of board, there was an absolutely herd mentality race to go to China. चाहे गैब्रियल हो, चाहे हीरो हो, चाहे बजाज हो, जो ऑटो कंपोनेंट मेकर था जिनके साथ मैंने काम किया, everybody was camping in China for 6 months. Do you think, my respected friends, that will be a threat or that will be an opportunity? My beloved friends, my very important point at the middle stage of my webinar over here before I introduce the smart leadership is smart leaders become smart, not, as I said, despite what they do in the recession, but due to what they do in recession, because they see the gorilla. And जैसे मैं बार बार गजपाल जी का नाम दे रहा हूं, मुझे अनुमति दीजिए, जो लोग गोरिल्ला को देखते हैं वो फोकस करके काउंट नहीं करते, और जो काउंट करते हैं और हाथ खड़ा करते हैं वो फिर शायद गोरिल्ला को नहीं देख पाते. So the big message number 2, smart leadership का M मेरे प्यारे मित्रों हैं, winners are those who have macro vision and micro action. See the big picture. There is a gorilla. As respected Yogesh ji said, once COVID is something we have become used to, India would be a huge monumental demonstration of opportunities and only opportunities. The question is not whether the opportunity is there or not. Without anything, there is no gainsaying the fact that opportunity is begging at your door. The question, my respected friends, is, are you ready to keep counting to shrink, cost cutting, as respected Yogesh ji said, but at the same time, see the big picture, ally with Bajaj, be a vendor to TVS, maybe 10 front fork makers may not be able to survive, maybe 1 or 2 maybe, or I'm just using that an example, any auto component. Which new OEMs do you want to marry? Which new export countries do you want to target? Which relationship do you want to divorce? Are you seeing the big picture, my respected friends? That brings me to a very small, funny game. This is very obvious. And Rajji, with your kind permission, sir, may I request you to read the task?
Yes, sure. So the task is link all 9 dots using maximum 4 straight lines. Condition 1, restrictions is 1. So once your pen touches the paper, you can't lift the pen. Condition 2, that is the restriction 2. You can't make your pen cross through the dot twice.
Thank you, Raji. So very obvious conditions. I am giving you 30 seconds to challenge this. Had it been a real webinar, I would have given more time, but we have a 90 minutes image over here. So 20 seconds. Let us see who can draw it on a paper. My phone is right here. I'm waiting for your answers. Gajpalji, please attempt this. Please draw a sketch to link all the 9 dots using 4 straight lines at maximum. But once your pen touches the paper, you can't lift the pen. And you can't cross the same dot. Now we have got one answer. All right. Full marks to Arvind Dhingraji. Arvind Dhingraji, well done. Congratulations. Let me see if somebody else has sent a picture. Okay. Wow. Ankit ji, full marks, sir. Rohit Varsne ji, full marks to you also. Okay, guys. The problem, I think since Rohit ji, Arvind ji and Ankit ji have given the solution, I'll quickly share the solution. The sequence of lining is not correct, but your first line goes like this. What just happened? What did this line give us as $1 million lesson? The problem with leaders in crisis is that they start playing between the restrictions given. I said connect the dots. I did not say do not go beyond the dots. Stretch, shift, go beyond the dots. The sequence is the other way around. You start with this, come here, then go here, then and then. The problem with human thinking, my respected friends, which great organizations, great leaders break is they think beyond. अमित जी को रेडियो में ट्रैक दिया, रेडियो को मारो गोली, बॉलीवुड जाता हूं, बॉलीवुड में राजेश खन्ना की इमेज नहीं काम आई तो एंग्री यंग मैन की इमेज बनाई, एंग्री यंग मैन की कुली के बाद जब डेथ के बेड पे थे तो उन्होंने कहा पॉलिटिशियन में जाता हूं, पॉलिटिक्स में फेल हुए धंधा शुरू करता हूं, धंधा फेल हुआ, एंग्री यंग मैन की इमेज भी नहीं काम आ रही थी, उनकी एक के बाद एक गंगा जमुना टाइप की पिक्चर फेल हो रही थी, एबीसीएल नहीं चली तो उसके बाद ह्यूमिलिटी को यूज करते हुए दैट ग्रेट लीडरशिप ऑफ स्ट्रेचिंग बियॉन्ड द ऑब्वियस रिस्ट्रिक्शंस, बड़े पर्दे को छोड़कर छोटे पर्दे पे, एंड हीरो के रोल को छोड़कर कैरेक्टर आर्टिस्ट. Please stretch and shift. Do not focus on restrictions. One last exercise. Raji, please do the honor, sir. Kindly read this slide.
Sir, this was the out of box, thinking out of the box.
Absolutely. Stretch, shift. The problem is people in crisis resort to chasing the mice. Ki only cost cutting, only doing better of what, jabki success kahin aur hai. If you go to some of the networking councils, I heard one of the great networking speakers, he said many of us become like a housefly, that we are banging our head against the same window. Window to nahi tod payenge, hum to choti si makhi hain. But on the other hand, there is a door which is open. If we could just divorce that partner which is stopping us, we could enter into export market, start making new players, start marrying new vendors. How about that? How do we grow? These are the questions. So think out of the box, stretch, do something. I'm going to give you actual examples. I'll be taking a certain example. So give me a second. That's the last part. So guys, one last question. And there is very less time, so I will read it. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Make any one line to make the equation match. और एक ही कंडीशन है, यहां मत डाल देना कि नहीं सर नॉट इक्वल टू, मैच कराना है. Think what you could put. Choose any one line to match the equation. Only 10 seconds. Again, Arvind ji, Rohit Shane ji. Okay, guys, since time is very less, so I'll quickly go into this. 10 something something 10 something something 10 is equal to 9.5. When given such kind of things, जैसे श्रीवास्तव जी ने कहा, we start looking at restrictions. We have to think out of the box. Can we change the game from mathematics to time? How about this? 10 to 10. 10 बजने में 10 मिनट, 9 बज के 50 मिनट. The reason I'm showing you this exercise, my respected friends, is when one door of opportunity is closed due to coronavirus, Hero is not buying enough, Maruti is not buying enough, 10 different doors are opening. So remember, the first S of great leaders, be it corporate leaders, is that they stretch beyond the obvious. Think out of the box, that what game-changing gorilla are we missing? Should we be spending this time to open one office in Europe, Britain, America कि कोरोना के बाद ये countries China से खरीदना बंद करेंगी तो हम उससे पहले बेच पाएं? Should we open an office in Aurangabad? Should we start networking with Rajiv Bajaj ji? Should we start networking with Srinivasan ji? कि अभी तक तो हम हीरो को बेचते थे, अब से हम आपको बेचेंगे. आप अपने उनसे करो, हम आपको बेचेंगे. There are no clear answers. I'm not here to give you answers. I'm here just to give you framework. And that framework, my respected friends, as I come to the last 10 minutes of my webinar is beat COVID away, smart professional way. 5 timeless learnings from 100 greatest CEOs. When I did leadership program at Harvard, I did this research, and my research on 100 greatest CEOs is presented to you in the last 10-15 minutes of this webinar. And that leadership secret is Number 1, जिस पे हम बहुत बात कर चुके हैं, shift and stretch, be a struggling lion. Number 2, जैसे मैं बार बार गजपाल जी का एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं, macro vision and micro action. गोरिल्ला ही नहीं, नंबर भी. जैसे वाजपेयी जी ने सौरव गांगुली को बोला था जब वो पाकिस्तान गए थे कि खेल ही नहीं, दिल भी जीतो. So not just cost cutting, but expansion also. Allocate time judiciously. The most important learnings which I'm going to focus the last 15 minutes is A and R, and transform tactfully. Now, to answer the question, shift and stretch goals, I'm going to take a small quiz once again. I'm going to show you some of the greatest companies who survived 10,000 times greater recession than Corona. So I'm going to show you your chart picturing. Please pick up your pen. Gajpalji, now you have my network, and all of you, please pick up your pen and paper. Write down the name of the companies who became world's greatest in coffee, bulb, कपड़ा और लक्कड़. ये ऐसी कंपनियां हैं जिनके मैं क्लू दे रहा हूं. एक कंपनी थी जिससे 1920-40 में कॉफी मशीन में दुनिया पे राज किया. एक कंपनी ने 20 साल बल्ब में राज किया. एक कंपनी ने 1870-80 से लेकर 1920 तक कपड़े पे राज किया. एक कंपनी ने 10 साल लक्कड़ पे राज किया. I give you just 30 seconds because time is less. If any one of you can get any one of these companies, please send them to me now. लेकिन एक क्लू है, आज all of these companies, despite 100 years of crazy recession, they rule the corporate global world today also in their respective fields. What innovation lessons can we learn? What struggling line lesson can we learn from these 4 companies? I'd like to know. You have 30 seconds. No, Arvindji, it's not Philips, although Philips is also very beautiful. Yes. 05921, apna naam likhiye. You are right. Bulb is G. Please send me your name, sir. Suresh Nairji. Suresh Nairji, excellent. So let me quickly go over here. The company which ruled the world for coffee machines was none else but IBM. Today known for computers, software consulting, solution consulting. 20 साल तक ये कॉफी मशीनें बनाते थे. The company which is today known for space research, medical research, all kind of heavy engineering, bulb से start किया. कपड़े से शुरू करी हुई company, my own company where I worked for almost 20 years, Mitsubishi Group, today known from anything from pen, rocket, spaceship, heavy design, metros, every single thing. And the shocking most, लक्कड़हारा कौन? कहते ना, उत्तर जानते हुए भी तू ना बोला तो तेरे सड़ के टुकड़े टुकड़े हो जाएंगे, और अगर ना बोला तो मैं विक्रम और वेताल की तरह उड़ जाऊंगा. मेरे प्यारे दोस्तों, यू विल बी शॉक्ड टू नो, दुनिया में 10-15 साल लक्कड़ पे राज करने वाली कंपनी आज 100 साल बाद दुनिया के सबसे बड़े हवाई जहाज, स्पेस क्राफ्ट, एयरक्राफ्ट टेक्नोलॉजी, इंजन टेक्नोलॉजी, मेट्रो टेक्नोलॉजीज, बोइंग. What do we learn from these companies? These companies survived not 1, not 2, not 3, but more than 25 recessions. World War I, pandemic, depression, the greatest of them all, World War II, post-war crisis, the Russian war, Cold War, oil shock of 70s, expansionary bubble of 80s, and then the bubble burst. When I joined Mitsubishi Group, Thailand, all the investments went simply kaput because a big Southeast Asian currency survived over there, and it lived for 4 to 5 years to literally kill any average company. All of these great companies, my respected friends, survived numerous recessions far more fatal than
Correct. The obvious question is, how did they survive it? And for that, the answer once again goes back to the basic statement of be the best, that they survive not despite, but thanks to the recession. And you need to remember the quote of famous Austrian economist John Schumpeter, who said, recession is not an annihilation, but a beginning. And companies become great not despite, but due to the recession. The seed that great leaders sow during turbulent times bear fruits of tremendous surge in growth times. And which is where, my friends, the principle of that 100 greatest CEOs ever, smart leadership, comes. Recession is not a challenge. Recession एक situation है which weeds out inefficient competitor. Your competitor auto component. आप अगर एक product 1000 रुपए का बेच रहे हो, 900 पे price में घुसा, he will die. Recession will give you time to introspect, innovate. Recession is a time for a great beginning. Some of my very honorable friends from BCG, they drew an analogy. They said that a slowdown needs शिवजी का त्रिशूल. 3 चीजें एक साथ करनी होंगी. जैसे आदरणीय योगेश जी ने शुरू में कहा, पहली चीज है अप्लाई ब्रेक्स, स्ट्रेटेजिक श्रिंकिंग. क्यों? क्योंकि माइकल शूमाचर की तरह अगर आप इस बेंड को सक्सेसफुली करना चाहते हो, डेड एंड है. और शायद जैसे योगेश जी ने कहा, कोविड का डेड एंड तो काफी देर तक चलेगा. सो यू नीड टू श्रिंक, you need to cut cost, you need to become lean and mean, you need to become a rocket which is flying. But what great leaders also need to know is that there will be a U-turn coming. So you have to develop new skills, you have to find your new antelopes, you have to find new competencies. That MBA, that book, that journal, कि आज तक आप कंपनी में डिप्टी जनरल मैनेजर की पोस्ट पे स्ट्रगल कर रहे हो, आपकी बुक, आपका रिसर्च पेपर क्या आपके चेयरमैन को इंप्रेस नहीं कर देगा? हाँ यार, ये 45 साल का इसने क्या बुक लिखी है, इसको मैं अपनी कंपनी का अगला सीईओ बनाता हूं. टेक टर्न, रिप्रायोरिटाइज, ये भी साथ साथ करना होगा. कॉस्ट कटिंग के साथ साथ सोचना होगा, क्या मुझे उस ओवरसीज पार्टनर को डाइवोर्स करना है? क्या मुझे यूरोप में अब से एक्सपोर्ट में एग्रेसिवली जाना है? क्या मुझे हीरो को छोड़ के बजाज में, टीवीएस में, होंडा, HMSI इन कंपनीज में जाना है? कहां जाना है? आई एम जस्ट टेकिंग सम रैंडम एग्जांपल्स ओनली टू प्रूव अ मेटाफोरिकल पॉइंट ओवर हियर. एंड फाइनली, great leaders today, before the U-turn, also think that how am I going to grow? How am I going to full blast to accelerate? ये 3 चीजें एक साथ करने वाला ही महान योद्धा होता है. तो I repeat, break, review old ways to change them radically, turn quickly to acquire new skills, and then use them with full force to implement the moment you start seeing a silver lining. Because no matter how dark the cloud, my respected friends, every cloud has a silver lining, which you need to remember. So quickly, I'm going to take the specific example of GE and Mitsubishi a bit in detail. What did IBM do? Started with coffee machine, went to computers. Computers jab commoditize ho gaye services mein. And today, one of the Fortune 100. GE बल्ब से शुरू किया, बट जब बल्ब मास प्रोडक्शन हो गया, इलेक्ट्रिकल टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करके प्रोडक्ट बनाए. उसके बाद एविएशन, पावर, मित्सुबिशी कपड़े से स्टार्ट किया, शिपिंग में गए, मशीन में गए. एंड टुडे bulk of Mitsubishi's profit comes from asset trading, asset positioning. पहाड़ के पहाड़ खरीद रखे, कोकिंग कोल, आयरन ओर, कॉपर. बोइंग, लकड़ी को छोड़कर इंजन, इंजन को छोड़कर हवाई जहाज. The first thing that you all need to do is they all were struggling blind. They knew where to stretch, how to shift. So I'm going to quickly demonstrate what did GE do. GE ने क्या छोड़ा, हमने क्या खोया, हमने क्या पाया. 20-25 साल बल्ब में राज करने के बाद उनको समझ में आ गया, अब बल्ब तो कोई भी बना लेगा, कोई भी मास कंज्यूमर्स को बेचेगा. दे रियलाइज फ्यूचर अपॉर्चुनिटी आर्मी में है. रेडार बनाना शुरू किया वैक्यूम टेक्नोलॉजी से. वहां जब नेक्स्ट रिसेशन आया, वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 के बादल मंडराए, इंजन डिजाइन शुरू किया, आर्मी को छोड़ा, एयरफोर्स को अपनाया. उसके बाद जब वर्ल्ड वॉर शांति हो गई, रियलाइज किया कि अब जहाजों से ज्यादा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे टाइम लगेगा. ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, मेट्रोज, मेट्रो सिटीज, ऑल दिस रेलवे, उस पे सिग्नलिंग सिस्टम पे रेजर राइट डेवलप करी. फिर रियलाइज हुआ जब बेबी बूमर जनरेशन 30s-40s की हो रही थी, अब तो मेडिसिन में बड़ा पैसा है. हेल्थ केयर, इमेजिंग, यूजिंग देयर लेजर टेक्नोलॉजी टू डेवलप मेडिकल इमेज. एंड फाइनली जब रियलाइज हुआ कि बबल आ रहा है, went into financial risk management, G Finance खोल के all the way back to the same mass consumers. What G did, my respected friends, is skill-based stretch and shift. on a market product paradigm, बल्ब से शुरू किया consumers के लिए, radar में गए army के लिए, engine गए air force के लिए, switch signal गए transport infrastructure के लिए, medical equipment गए for health care, medical centers, and finally 360 degrees back to mass consumer as a financial service provider. What they did was they kept on changing industry, kept on changing product, kept on changing market. Are you ready to sell your products to Europe, to US? Are you ready to develop a new product? Lekin, what G never changed was G skill, engineering, research and design. ओवरसीज पार्टनर को डाइवोर्स करने से पहले आपको 20, 30, 40, 50 करोड़ रुपया लगाना पड़ेगा आज. और आज टाइम है, बिकॉज आज जैसे ग्लोबल रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट वाले जिनकी 10-10 करोड़ 20-20 करोड़ तनख्वाह रही होगी, शायद 1 करोड़ में आपके पास आ जाए. आज अगर आप नया टेक्नोलॉजी पार्टनरशिप करते हैं, जो अदरवाइज टेक्नोलॉजी पार्टनर आपसे 5% रॉयल्टी लेता, आज 2% में इंडिया में लोग हाथ जोड़ के आएंगे. क्या आप ये गोरिल्ला देख रहे हैं मेरे दोस्तों? मेरा आप सबसे प्रश्न है. For individuals, as I talk about stretch and shift, what is your great skill? How could you use it to stretch and shift? Are you a marketing professional struggling at general manager? Why don't you do your 1-year PGDM program? Spend 40 lakh rupees. Go to IIM Ahmedabad, go to IIM Bangalore. Come back. Straight away be a CEO at your company. Are you a supply chain professional? Could you master technology practices? How to do material management? How to do new supply chain? Go to IIM Ahmedabad, do a course on manufacturing, marketing, supply chain linkage, become president of your company. Are you a teacher? Are you a professor? Are you a researcher? How do you gun for principal's post? And finally, if you are a CEO, if you are a managing director, how do you make your company a leader across the globe? Coronavirus gives you a time. जिन लोगों ने border picture देखी है, जो कुलदीप सिंह चांदपुरी का रोल जो सनी देओल ने किया था, why did that become great? एंड में लड़ाई तो एंडी बाजवा ने, विंग कमांडर एंडी बाजवा ने जब एयरफोर्स से बम्बार्डमेंट करी, टैंकों को तो उन्होंने मारा था ना. फिर सनी देओल हीरो कैसे हो गया? The reason why Kuldeep Singh Chandpuri or Sunny Deol's character in Border was the hero was because in the time of coronavirus, when thousands of tanks were standing in front, my respected friends, it was Sunny Deol, Kuldeep Singh Chandpuri, who amidst all the hostilities had the courage to pick up the gun and stand up in front of 1,000 tanks and say, Bharat Mata ki Jai. The question, my respected friends, is that in these times of crisis, if you all will stand up for your managing directors, your CEOs and say, sir, मैं जाता हूं, मैं जाके गुजरात में नया प्लांट खोलता हूं, मुझे मौका दीजिए, मैं श्री सिटी में नई फैक्ट्री खोलता हूं, मुझे दीजिए, मैं श्रीनिवासन जी से मिलके आता हूं, मुझे दीजिए, मैं श्याम के थ्रू नेटवर्क करके राजीव बजाज से आपके अपॉइंटमेंट करता हूं, मुझे चाह दीजिए, मैं फैमिली को छोड़कर यूरोप में जाके आपके लिए नया यूनिट खोलता हूं, देन दुनिया की कोई ताकत आपको truly struggling lion की तरह radically grow करने से नहीं रोक सकती. The question, my respected friends, is not whether the opportunity is there or not, but the question is whether you are looking for the opportunity. And you must realize, if you as a company need to stretch, work on your skills. आप importer थे तो post corona चाइना को छोड़कर ऑस्ट्रेलिया, यूरोप, यूके से शुरू करिए. आप डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर थे, एक्सपोर्ट में जाइए, डाइवोर्स योर ओल्ड रिलेशनशिप, स्टार्ट न्यू. R&D में प्रोसेस एलिमिनेशन, प्रोडक्ट एलिमिनेशन, जैसे आदरणीय योगेश जी ने कहा, VAV, कॉस्ट कंट्रोल, मार्केटिंग. अभी तक B2B करे थे, go to B2C. You make shock absorber, you make front fork, start exporting your products big time, big way to the whole world. New alliances. अगर टू व्हीलर में इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स आ गए, सम फोरकास्ट से कि लिटरली जैसे कंप्यूटर इंडस्ट्री डिस्ट्रॉय हुई थी, नेहरू प्लेस की एक बिल्डिंग के अंदर 100 लोग कंप्यूटर बना रहे थे, खत्म हो गई, कंपनियां बर्बाद हो गई. Who knows, once electric two-wheelers come, battery technology becomes the key, you would probably just have thousands and thousands of assemblers. Will your heroes, Bajaj, TVS, HMSIs, and I'm saying all this in metaphorical context, are they big gorilla? Or like a housefly, you're hitting on the window, which after Modi ji's policy to have electric vehicles in 3-4 years, may be such a mass technology कि आपके components तो नेहरू प्लेस में assembly की तरह बिकेंगे. What actions are you taking today to shift and stretch is the question. So a very quick example, and I'm going to skip the Mitsubishi example right now for paucity of time. I'm going to give a auto component example. I'll without naming, this is one company who completely did a classical example of backward integration. OEM को logistics से शुरू किया, assembly maker बने, सब assembly में गए, tube making में गए, blank में गए, steel service center खोला. Value chain diversification, they kept on building volumes. Hero से शुरू किया, Bajaj में गए, Bajaj से शुरू किया, TVS में गए, TVS से शुरू किया, HMSI में. Neutral positioning. Can you do that? Adjacency based diversification. Same market, new product. Same group. I don't want to name because there are many groups. Started with one product, went to new market. Auto component sector. A company, specific company, started with gears for two-wheelers. A big crisis came, started selling their gears for four-wheelers. Next crisis, body parts for four-wheelers. Next crisis, body part for two-wheelers. Next crisis, aluminum forging for two-wheelers, for four-wheelers. Then clutch and brake for four-wheelers. Clutch and brake for two-wheelers. What skills did they use? CRM, very tricky, very complicated. How do you persuade Hero, Bajaj, TVS, HMSI to give you a neutral supplier status and supply to all of them? Lot of shrewd shenanigans where you may have to display tactful negotiation. Do you have the CXOs who can do this for you? And FMS. The greatest secret of success is FMS. There was a research by Deutsche Bank on the reason why Europe has such advanced automotive. FMS stands for Flexible Manufacturing Systems. Same machine se multiple product bana pana. But please always remember, stretch and shift is not just about entering, but where to exit. So I'm going to skip these examples. These are some of the examples which I experienced in my own life. We, during recession time, invested in upgrading the machine. तो जो काम 3 मशीन से करते थे, upgradation के बाद we were able to do only with 1 machine. Mantra, flexible manufacturing production, debottlenecking, automation. Another example of quenching and tempering. जो काम हम 2 मशीनों से करते थे, थाईलैंड में जब रिसेशन आया, we were only using 0.25 of our capacity out of 2. What did we do? We didn't scrap, we didn't panic, we didn't dispose. We invested money. We moved again, we saw the gorilla. कि थाईलैंड के बाद अगली मार्केट इंडिया में आएगी. वी मेड बोथ मनी सो कैपेबल कि हमने उनकी बैच एनीलिंग से सेमी कंटिन्यूस एनीलिंग में शिफ्ट किया. प्रोडक्टिविटी इतनी बढ़ गई कि जो काम 2 मशीनों से हो रहा था वो आधी मशीन से हो सकता था. वी शिफ्टेड द सेकंड मशीन टू नीमराना, opened a new operation in Neemrana in 2008. The results were that our productivity shot of 4 times, our losses crashed down to 2 times. Strategic and sustainable value creation. Now is the time. I like to say one very important last thing. Coronavirus is like the 0 period of creativity. जैसे योगेश जी ने कहा, बहुत sluggish इंडस्ट्री है, ऑटोमेकर भी स्ट्रगल कर रहा है, सप्लायर भी स्ट्रगल कर रहा है, कॉम्पोनेटर भी कर रहा है, आपका कॉम्पिटिटर भी स्ट्रगल कर रहा है. जिस प्रकार महाभारत में भीष्म वध से पहले, कर्ण वध से पहले प्रभु श्री कृष्ण ने समय को रोक दिया था, कोरोना वायरस वो अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि समय रुक गया. जिस प्रकार महाभारत में भीष्म पितामह का, अंगराज कर्ण का, गुरु द्रोण का ज्ञान दिया था, आप वो ज्ञान लेके अपने लिए वैल्यू क्रिएट करिए. बिकॉज जब वो यू टर्न आएगा, उसके बाद जिस प्रकार बापट जी ने कहा या उससे पहले श्रीवास्तव जी ने कहा, यू वोंट इवन हैव टाइम टू स्क्रैच योर हेड. सो डू दैट वैल्यू क्रिएशन नाउ. स्ट्रेच. In view of paucity of time, I'm going to very quickly, I've already spoken about macro vision. I just want to remind you that have a macro vision and a micro action. And we do corporate HR audit, that how well prepared your leaders are. Those of you want could come to organization. I'm only going to touch one thing, which is purpose. No organization can become great if the employees are only focused on money and promotion. So as a CEO, your single biggest responsibility is to create a vision community where each and every employee sees Kar Kar mein base Ram, Har Har Mahadev. If your employees are avowing and committed कि मुझे अपनी कंपनी को दुनिया की बेस्ट कंपनी बनाना है, then दुनिया की कोई ताकत, no force in the universe can deny you the success that you so truly deserve. For that, it's very important, those of the CEOs who are joining, that please conduct audit of employee engagement, employee motivation, and how well are they aligning with the purpose to make your company the greatest. Last 2 parts which I wish to emphasize is, there was a study which we did at Harvard which said the single biggest curse, leadership का एक ही कर्ज है, are you where you are. अब बैठे हुए हो दफ्तर में, ध्यान कहाँ है? अरे यार घर में गैस भरनी थी, अरे यार घर में गैस का सिलेंडर खरीदना था, अरे यार बीवी को किट्टी पार्टी पे छोड़ने वाला था, सामने वाली शीला आंटी की मम्मी की डेथ हो गई है, उनके श्राद्ध पे जाना था, पड़ोस वाले अंकल जी की गाड़ी मेरे घर के आगे पार्क है, उसके साथ कैसे झगड़ा करूं, गाड़ी हटाऊं? Are you where you are? A famous researcher called Madame Z. Garnick in 1927, she was a Russian researcher, said, great leaders know one thing. Thoughts of unfulfilled tasks drastically curtail your efficiency. So the secret of 100 greatest CEOs was balance. Where you are, you focus your time only on that and forget about the other thing. Draw a balance in personal and professional life. Whichever CEOs are over here, I request you to give me a chance. I conduct a one-day workshop on Cosmos Framework, Wheel of Life. This Wheel of Life encourages them to divide 16 hours between two zones, professional and personal, health, passion, family, spirituality, professional, knowledge, financial, and network. Because my respected leaders, if you do not have that smoothly aligned wheel of balance, your wheel is not circular. Your car cannot go from Delhi to Amritsar. It can go from maybe, let us say, Dhola Kuan to probably Sardar Patel Marg or Connaught Place, but it cannot go from Delhi to Amritsar. लंबी रेस का घोड़ा बनने के लिए spirituality 30 minutes, family 2 hours, passion, guitar, singing 30 minutes, health 1 hour, networking 1 hour, LinkedIn, financial resource management 2 hours, your knowledge skill 10 hours, your profession 1 or 2 hours. Please balance your time distribution to be great leaders. And then finally, I like to end with my copyright patented framework, where if you allow, this is a 32 hours leadership training program. I could train your CXOs. I've been doing that with many auto component and banking sector as of now. The 6 things which should be in your leaders is integrity of purpose. Swamdwas, say what you mean, do what you say. Vision community, खाली आप नहीं, कण कण में बसे राम, हर हर महादेव. Every employee of your company should be aligned. Build the bonds with them, empower and encourage. Sustain value, service before self, company before self, and finally be a role model who's an inspiration. Like I always say, I had the great privilege of being associated with respected Sri Yogesh Munjalji, his respected father Paramatma Satyanand Munjalji. These great leaders were known not just because of their acumen. Their business vision is just a tip of the iceberg. In the entire Munjal family, they had 3,000 dealers, 5,000 dealers. They had literally personal relationships with everyone. Respected Yogesh ji, even today, on fixed timings, going to shop floor, monitoring the employees, connecting with them. Are you becoming a role model? So in this enlightening leadership, which is a copyright theory of Gweb, I would like to conclude by giving you 4 models. ये 4 pictures दिखाने जा रहा हूं. You have to try to become these 4 roles in your life. And as I conclude my presentation in the last 2 minutes, जो जिंदगी में 4 चीजें बनना है. पहली, एक गाइडिंग लाउट हाउस बनना है जो दूसरों को राह दिखाएगा. दूसरा, एक पुलिंग मैग्नेट बनना है जो लोगों को नए नए मिशन देगा. जिस प्रकार संजीव कुमार ने शोले पिक्चर में जय वीरू को नया पर्पस दिखा के उनकी जिंदगी बना दी, लोहे को लोहा ही काटता है, गुंडों को पुलिस का रक्षक बना दिया, उसी प्रकार क्या आपने एक एक CXO को नई राह दिखा पा रहे हैं. And most important, servant leader. In the Harvard research, the biggest conclusion was that the single biggest ailment of corporate is called mediocrity theorem, which means people typically recruit and encourage leaders who are inferior to them. क्योंकि मुझसे सुपीरियर आ गया तो मेरी जेलसी, मेरी इनसिक्योरिटी, मेरा क्या होगा, कल को मेरी पोजीशन को खा जाएगा. So typically the top leaders sometimes in some organizations discourage the growth of junior and minute management, and the great 100 CEOs, my respected friends, were those who overcame those feelings to become great. And last is always be a positive angel coach who is motivating and guiding others. Remember these 4 quadrants to become a truly enlightening leader. And in the last part, I'm going to tell you something about how do you transform. The future is divided into 2 parts, the computer part and the victor part. You all need to become a victor to be the computer. Computer को हराने के लिए जो victor बनना है, you need to be somebody who can visualize, see the trends before others. Is it good to tie up with Hero, Bajaj, TVS, or is it good to start focusing on exports, start focusing on different supply chain? Creativity. How do you conceive and commit new ideas? And people management oration skills. No matter what a computer does, it can never take these charms from us. So I'd like to conclude my presentation by telling you that all of you need to work to be a champ. Communication skills, highly tech savvy, awareness. Try to find out your N+1. What is your boss doing? Get your boss perspective. Memorization. I spoke about the respected Munjal family who knew the name of every single dealer. Do you have that memory to remember 4,000 names, their families? Because if you do that, the kind of respect that you will get is unparalleled. And finally, people management skills of persuasion, influencing, negotiation, enlightening leadership. All these 5 are our web workshops. You want to be a champ, please come to us. We'll do these workshops for your cooperation. So with that, I end my session. Thank you so much. God bless you all. And my final thoughts are, be a smart leader, follow the 5 principles, stretch and shift on your skills. Macro vision, micro action. See the gorilla, but don't forget the counting. Allocate time with balance. Be an enlightening leader who's a role model, be a servant leader, and keep transforming to be a struggling, to be a victor. So with those words, I'd like to end this session. May the power of winning persona ever be with you. Thank you so much. God bless you. And may you all be struggling lions to take yourself and your companies to ever greater heights. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Very good, very good. Mr. Satyakas?
Yes. It was a nice session, sir. It was really wonderful.
And God bless you. I hope people apply those learnings and become truly
really enriching. Very good. Excellent.
I will request Mr. Satyakas.
Yes. Thank you, Srivastava ji.
What are thanks?
Thank you, Srivastava ji. Thank you very much. अभी वेबिनार इनका चल रहा था गगनदीप सिंह जी का, और जब इसकी बात हुई थी कि वेबिनार करना है तो श्रीवास्तव जी ने बताया कि 1 घंटा 30 मिनट का वेबिनार करेंगे। तो मुझे लगा 1 घंटा 30 मिनट का वेबिनार कैसे अटेंड करेंगे, इतना बहुत ज़्यादा है टाइम। लेकिन अभी जब इन्होंने कहा कि मैं टॉपिक ख़त्म कर रहा हूँ तो लगा अरे 1.5 घंटे से ज़्यादा समय, 1.5 घंटा बीत गया। तो मुझे लगा कि ये तो वाकई टाइम कम था। जिस तरीके से इन्होंने समझाया, मैं इंसान NIC इंसान की तरफ से सबसे पहले श्री गगनदीप सिंह का हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि उन्होंने बहुत ही एग्जाम्पल के साथ ये बीट द कोविड अवे फ्रॉम स्मार्ट प्रोफेशनल वे जो अपना सब्जेक्ट था उसके साथ बहुत अच्छा लोगों को समझाया, बहुत अच्छा हमें जानकारी दी। मैं बहुत बहुत आपका आभार सर। मैं हमारे बीच इंसान के नेशनल प्रेसिडेंट श्री बापा साहब यहाँ उपस्थित हैं और उनकी प्रेरणा थी कि हम लोग इस तरह के कार्यक्रम नॉर्दर्न इंडिया चैप्टर की तरफ से भी करें, और उनकी प्रेरणा, उनके प्रोत्साहन की वजह से हम ये कार्यक्रम कर पाए। और मुझे लगता है जैसा श्रीवास्तव जी ने कहा कि हम बहुत सारे वेबिनार्स अभी आने वाले दिनों में करेंगे। तो मैं अपने वापस साहब का भी बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि उन्होंने हमें ये गाइडेंस दी कि हम इस तरह के कार्यक्रम नॉर्दर्न इंडिया चैप्टर की तरफ से करें। मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं अपने चेयरमैन साहब श्री योगेश मुंजाल जी का, जिनकी गाइडेंस में हम ये सारे कार्यक्रम आयोजित कर पाते हैं। और उन्होंने जब बीच में हमने इसको किन्हीं अपरिहार्य कारणों से पोस्टपोन किया था तो मुझे 2-3 बार फ़ोन किया कि इसको जल्दी करो, कि गगन सिंह को हम सुनना चाहते हैं। तो मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ अपने चेयरमैन साहब का। 1.5 घंटे लगातार हमें यहाँ इस कार्यक्रम में बैठे और हमें प्रेरणा दी, और आगे भी हमें निश्चित रूप से मार्गदर्शन हमारा करते रहते हैं। और मैं हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए जितने भी हमारे जो दर्शक हैं, जो हमारे श्रोता हैं, उन सब का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। और जो हमारी कंपनियां हैं जो नॉर्दर्न इंडिया चैप्टर को सपोर्ट कर रही हैं, मारुति है, इफ्को है, महिंद्रा एंड महिंद्रा है, हीरो है, BHEL है, उनका भी सभी कंपनियों का मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि उन्होंने हमें इस कार्यक्रम में सपोर्ट किया और आगे आने वाले जो हमारे कार्यक्रम होंगे उनमें भी हमें सपोर्ट करते रहेंगे। और मैं अंत में अपनी मैनेजिंग काउंसिल स्पेशली बीके श्रीवास्तव जी जो हमारे काउंसिल हमारे जो लीडर हैं इस मैनेजिंग काउंसिल के, और हमारे मैनेजिंग काउंसिल के मेंबर श्री नरेश गांधी, मिस्टर जेपी, जगदीश प्रसाद फ्रॉम BHEL, मैं सभी का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं और उम्मीद करता हूं इस तरह के कार्यक्रम नॉर्दर्न इंडिया चैप्टर और करेगा। और रिसेंटली हमारा एक कार्यक्रम जो ऑनलाइन रहेगा पोस्टर कंपटीशन, वो हमारा नेक्स्ट प्रोग्राम है, वो जल्दी ही श्रीवास्तव जी इसको लॉन्च करेंगे। हमारे मुंजाल साहब से उन्होंने अनुमति ले ली है कि उसको हम लॉन्च करें। तो इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं एक बार आप सभी का पुनः हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
One minute. Mr. Satyaprakash, the very important person you just left, Mr. Raj Dubal, who has helped us to use
yes,
shape.
Sorry.
And we also have a big hand for Mr. Raj Dubal.
Thank you, thanks a lot, and it's a pleasure, attending this session. I think it's a really eye opener for all of us.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gagan sir.
Thank you. Really.
I want to give a special thanks for your, despite so many different challenges, and you have stood like an iron pillar.
No, but I was very right that it was all worth it for us.
गगन जी आपको आगे भी सुनना चाहेंगे?
नहीं, the energy that he brings in is infectious. We feel energized. That is the greatness. We have so many presentations, but what is required is we feel, we should do something. That everything is not that bad as one sounds. So that's really creditable. Thanks once again from all of us at INSSAN.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
We'll close the session with this. Thank you.
The best. Thank you. Goodbye. So Raji, with your permission, we can leave now.
Yeah. So we will.
Okay. So once again, my very deepest thank to respected Yogesh Munjalji, who's always been a godfather figure and a source of energy and motivation. There are no words. So somebody like me also would fall short to describe the impact that Yogeshji has had in our lives. So no words for that. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to Srivastava-ji, that despite your so many different challenges, you are a real tireless crusader. You truly are, sir, a struggling lion. God bless you. And Rajji, it was wonderful knowing you. And I look forward to continue this session. And Bapaji, even though we met only once, you have developed such a bond of affinity that I salute you, sir. INSSAN is very fortunate to have such a learned luminary as a president. And I hope to serve under your guidance in times to come, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Munjalji.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Prakash ji, to you also.